My name is Mahabima, and we're going to talk about this topic in English, which is past continuous, which is past continuous tense, ongoing action, interrupted in the past. So first of all, we're going to talk about the definition of past continuous tense, and number one is what is the past continuous tense. So here's the answer. This shows an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past, and it emphasizes the duration of the action. So here is the structure: subject plus was stroke where plus the verb being, and here if it is I stroke he stroke she stroke it indicates like I was playing, but if it is in the past it should be you stroke we stroke they indicates were playing. So here are the main uses. So main uses: number one, action, which is like happening at happening at a specific time. For example, 8 p.m. There I can comma I was watching the TV. Then two is two actions happening at the same time. For example, while I was cooking, comma, she was reading. Then number three, ongoing action interrupted by another action. So number three, this is our main focus today. So let's talk about it. So interrupted actions, here's the key rule. So we use past continuous plus simple past together when a long action gets interrupted by a shorter, comma, sudden action. And we have a formula. So the formula is past continuous plus when plus simple past. Then simple past plus while plus continuous. Then here's the example. I was taking a shower when the phone rang. So if you look at this, the long action in this sentence was taking a shower, indicated before. It shows that taking a shower was the first thing to happen. So it was in progress. Then the short action is rang indicates interrupted. So when I was taking a shower, when the phone rang. So here in this sentence, it started before I was shower. So I was taking a shower. So now the short action is rang, which has interrupted when I was showering. So in this question, in the past I was taking a shower, which was the first. Then the phone rang, which interrupted it. So what was the short action? Then we have also further examples. But now in these further examples of interruption, we need to study this pattern. So number one of the pattern is like, for example, we were driving to Kampala when we felt the trauma. So here in this sentence, the long action is we're driving. The long action is we're driving. Then short action is felt. So number two, she was studying while her brothers were making noise. So in this sentence, two long actions at the same time. So here, no interruption, just parallel. All things were like she was studying while her brothers were making noise. So all things were happening at the same time in the same line, which is parallel. So number three, the students were writing notes when the teacher walked in. So long action is that they were writing. Then interruption walked in. So as they were writing, the teacher walked in, which caused the interruption. So the long action were like the students were writing notes when the teacher walked in. So the long action were writing, then the interruption, the teacher walked in. Then number 4, while I was cooking dinner, comma, I burned my hand. So here the long action was cooking. Okay, the long action was cooking. Then stroke interruption is burned. So in this number 4, example of the pattern is like when while I was cooking, so that was in progress. So the interruption is that I burned my hand, which came on the past. While I was cooking dinner, I burned my hand. So the interruption was burned. Then number 4 is what were you doing when I called you? Question form, long action being interrupted. So here, what were you doing when I called you? So as long if you see this question, which is what were you doing when I called you? So the question form is the long action being interrupted. As long as you can see just what were you doing when I called you, means that somebody was doing something in the past then was called. So that long action was interrupted because he or she was doing something then unfortunately was called. So one more time, let's go to like why we use this tense of past continuous on in ongoing interruption in the past. So we use past continuous for interrupting ongoing actions too. For example, to set the scene, which show what was happening before the main event. So before the main event shows in to set, so it helps to set the scene. Then another thing too is show contrast. So this shows that something sudden breaks the normal flow. So showing contrast is something sudden breaks the normal flow. So when we another thing is number 3 is tell stories. So this shows that makes events feel more alive and detailed. So that is this. Thank you very much.